Oh, Valentine's Day is looming. Ooh, that's me doing a romantic, sexy dance, apparently. Yeah, I know Valentine's can fill you with dread. If you're single, you're just like, oh, for God's sake. And even if you've got a partner, you're like, oh great, you've got to spend more money, come up with something really cute or inventive to do that hasn't been done before. But I thought, rather than concentrate on Valentine's Day per se, I'd do a video that kind of could appeal to lots of people, and I'm just going to talk about first dates in general, maybe offer some tips. Now I know you're probably looking at me and thinking, what does she know about this? She's hardly a guru, and you are right, but anyone who's made mistakes or been on dates or has lots of friends that share their stories will have gathered some tips over the years of things to do and things not to do. So I thought I'd share some with you in case any of you have a first date coming up for Valentine's perhaps. What to wear on a date. Obviously this will very much depend on what you're doing for a date, whether you're doing something that's active and kind of casual and a day wear kind of thing, or whether you're going for a meal, drinks, etc. So this advice might not apply to you, but obviously they say that on dates you shouldn't be too out there, you know, you shouldn't have your baps out, you shouldn't wear like a short skirt and a low top. You should look like you've made an effort but not look like you've tried to make too much of an effort, and all these cliches. But I'd say make sure, number one, that you are comfortable in what you're wearing. You don't want it to be like painful, like have a basque or corset that's like pinching you in on the ribs and making you uncomfortable. You don't want to wear something that's so tight you feel restricted or makes you really sweaty. You want to wear something that suits the temperature as well, so you're not shivering and all goosey, but you're also not like creating horrible sweat patches and coming all shiny. And most of all, you don't want to wear something, say, that you're worrying that your boob's going to plonk out on the table halfway through, or something that you've got to keep hoisting up because it falls down. You know, that annoying dress that has that strap that falls down. Perhaps a dress that shows annoying VPLs. You don't want to wear those shoes that maybe look really sexy or really cool, but you can't walk in and you walk like, ooh, or, you know, get that weak ankle thing where you go like that. You don't want any of that. So yeah, first of all, wear something that is literally comfortable to wear, but also something that is you. So you don't want to try and be something different. I know they say obviously you don't want to be too out there, maybe you want to err on the side of conservative in terms of how much flesh you show and that sort of thing, but if you are someone that always dresses sexy, or you are someone that shows a lot of flesh as a general rule, you don't want to kind of hide that from your date, because he or she is going to find that out as they carry on seeing you. So you've got to kind of show them what your style is, whether you have a rocky vibe, whether you're kind of boho, whether you're a bit of a tomboy or whatever. So show that off, but maybe just have in mind that you want to keep a bit of mystery perhaps and leave them wanting more. Obviously, like I said, you want to be you and showcase you, not some person you think that they want you to be or some person you think you should be. Makeup, same thing. I know they always say you should be natural, because apparently boys prefer natural, but I think actually a lot of boys prefer you to look natural, but that doesn't necessarily mean you haven't worn makeup. It's kind of that effortless makeup look. But that said, everyone's different. Some people love that kind of over the top glamour, you know, the Dita Von Teese, or you know, the even the Towie look. Some people may like that, but just make sure that you're confident, because I think that shows. If you don't feel like maybe you've covered up that spot that you hate, that will inevitably pop up on the day that you have a date. Or if you're wearing false lashes and you don't usually wear false lashes, you'll be worrying that they've pinged off. So just do what you're comfortable with, and that makes you feel confident, because that will show through your body language and the way you have eye contact with the person. Actually, the way you dress can also give things away to your dates. So they often say that if a girl likes the guy she'll often play with her hair or do something like that. And I think that's a good way. So that might kind of influence how you decide to dress on that date. I don't know, but that's a potential idea there. I'm someone that won't show too much of my breasticles or anything like that, but you know, you want to feel the best version of yourself and a bit sexy, but without giving too much away, so they want more and you can maybe reveal more as more dates happen, who knows. One thing, ladies, make sure that you don't have lipstick on your teeth, because I always have that and I know it's not a good look. It can lead to some hilarious moments, but obviously you'd rather it didn't happen. Also check for mascara goop, because I know guys are a bit funny about that. And obviously have nice fresh breath and nice smell. Don't overpower the perfume, because I know that you can't actually smell it when you put your own perfume on. You think you haven't got enough on, so you keep adding it, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. Guys, brush your teeth, have a shower. Don't care if you shave, I like a bit of rough and ready. This is all personal preference, obviously. Just be clean and tidy and, you know, look like you've made a bit of an effort and like you want to be there. Yeah, and don't arrive too hammered, ideally. Now, the greeting is a tricky one. This is something I can't offer too much advice on because I always get the greeting wrong. So I do that awkward arse out hug thing, or go in for the cheek kiss and then go in to do another one and then get their lips by accident, or go in for the hug and they've gone in for a kiss and then you end up all squashed. I've done all that. I've kissed my mate's granddad, for instance. Not that we were on a first date or anything, but that has happened. Kissed someone on a job interview as well. So yeah, I can't offer advice on that, but just try and kind of gauge what they're going to do and take advice. I think it was Peter Kay or Ricky Gervais or Michael McIntyre, one of those said, like, go in strong to the beginning. If you want to go in for a handshake, go in for a handshake, although that's a bit formal for a first date. But just be strong in your conviction and go in for the, or whatever you want it to be. I'm personally not into one night stands. I've never had one, it's not my thing. I'm not confident enough to feel ready to expose my bits and bobs to someone I've only just met or someone that I'm only just starting to get romantic with. But you know, that's all a personal choice. If you want to do that and get down and dirty, then you know, rock on. But for me, because I know sometimes you can get carried away with the evening and you think, actually this is going well, it might be nice, but you know that deep down you shouldn't do it and you don't want to do it, then what I do is make sure I haven't shaved my legs or other areas, so then that will kind of stop me from letting it happen in a way. So that's a tip if you want to stay a bit more hard to get on a first date. And also maybe plan that you have to be somewhere by the end of the night, so give yourself a time limit or somewhere else you need to go to afterwards. And that's kind of a good tip as well, because it makes you look like you're not too needy, that you're independent and have other plans and friends and people to hang out with, and it kind of cuts the date short, so it leaves them wanting more, which is always nice, and hopefully they will want more and they'll want to see you again. Now, talking about exes, this is another one. It will depend on whether this person is completely new into your life, or they're a friend of a friend, or whether they're someone you've kind of known before. Because if they know about your exes or are friends with your exes, it may well come into conversation. Now, I have often talked about exes just because that's the way it's panned out. They've talked about theirs and I've talked about mine. But I think the key is not to sound like you're too hung up on them still. Not to badmouth them too much, because that's not an attractive quality. It's okay to show an air of vulnerability and, you know, that you're someone that has been hurt perhaps, but you just don't want to go too heavy and too deep into it, because after all, this is meant to be a fun evening out. And you don't want to look like someone that's like batshit crazy and, you know, bad mouthing your ex, because that's not an appealing prospect as a future girlfriend. And about the vulnerability thing as well, I'm someone that tends to overshare because going through what I've gone through the last few years, I found it's helped me, but sometimes I overshare in situations where I probably shouldn't, and I give too much away. So just be wary of that. And unfortunately, some guys will take advantage of vulnerable people, so you don't want to give way too much of that to them, because there are some nasty people out there. On the whole though, hopefully people that see that vulnerable soft side will find it, you know, endearing perhaps, or they're like that you feel you can share that with them. Eating in front of a new date. Now, I've kind of disobeyed all the rules on this. On my last first date I had, I ordered 2 starters, a main and a pudding, and I wolfed it down, and the guy was shocked, stroked, impressed. I don't know which one it was slanted more towards, but it definitely intrigued him, and I got a second date, so it can't be too bad. But I think ideally you try and eat a bit more politely, but don't be one of those girls that is scared to eat in front of a guy. Just relax, we all eat, we're all human, it's alright to have an appetite, and like with all these things, just be yourself. So when it comes to paying a bill, if you've gone for a meal or something like that, I always offer to pay my half. I just feel better about doing that. I don't like to expect a guy to pay, because I know that we say we want to be independent, we want to, you know, be treated equal, so I think it's a bit hypocritical to not at least offer. That said, it is lovely when a guy insists, and I do love a man being a gentleman, and so guys, if you're watching this, do offer to pay if you can afford to, of course. We do appreciate it. It's nice to feel like you're being treated. And girls, I'd say do the same. Please do offer if you can as well. I think it's always a nice gesture, and it says a lot about the type of person you are, that you're not expecting them to pay for everything, and you're not, you know, a princess. In terms of whether you should text to say thank you for a nice day, or whether you should leave it, I'm very much about not playing games. When you're a certain age, I think you're tired of them, and you just literally want to be yourself, and if they have a problem with you being yourself, then they're really not the one for you. So if you get an instinct that you want to text them at the end of the night and say thanks, that was really nice, hope to see you again soon, do it. I'd probably, if it was me, I'd probably wait till the next day and say something like, thanks for dinner, had a really nice time, hope you got home alright, something like that, something breezy but that shows I appreciated the night. And guys and girls, because we all have played games in the past, just don't play games. If you had a nice time and you want to see the person again, don't make them have that anxious wait. Don't make them scrutinise every detail about the date. Just tell them you had a nice time and that you want to do it again soon. And if, you know, it's not what you wanted it to be and you don't feel there's a future, kind of nip it in the bud in the nicest way possible. When you're, you know, a certain age, you don't want to be involved with time wasters. You'd rather kind of know the truth than be able to crack on with the next endeavour. Kisses on the first date. Now, sometimes I think it's nice to end a date with a soft, tender, gentle kiss. So, like I said, it all depends on the type of date. If you've both got trolleyed and you're all over the shop, it's not likely to be a soft, tender kiss. But ideally, that's a lovely way to end a first date. Nothing too tonguey, nothing too over the top. Just something that says, I like you, this was nice, and maybe let's do it again soon. If the thought of going for a meal or sitting one-on-one with someone is scary, then, you know, do a fun date, something that's not the obvious, that's something a bit out of the ordinary. I like going to like a place that has bowling and perhaps air hockey and just playing some games together. And then if that goes well, they're usually in complexes that have like places you can go for food, or places that you can, I don't know, go for a drink, or then go onto the cinema if it's going well. One of my dates, we actually started off meeting to go bowling. We ended up going for dinner and then going to the cinema because it went so well. So it's nice to kind of have that opportunity if it is, you know, going smoothly and you want to carry on with the vibe. I think the crux of all this information is essentially, if the person's right, they're gonna like you for who you are, and if you make mistakes, which will happen, that's okay because they'll forgive you for them. And actually I found that some of my best dates and funniest date moments have been because something unpredictable's happened, something embarrassing's happened, and it's kind of lightened the mood, it's broken the ice, and it's made us feel really comfortable. Obviously I hope none of you have diarrhea or vomit on your date or fall down, all things that I've done. But if these things happen and you've shown enough yourself beforehand that they like, they'll come back for more in spite of these things. So just relax, go being confident, and enjoy it. It should be fun after all. And good luck, let me know how you get on. I'm living vicariously through you now because I'm not gonna potentially have another first date. So, enjoy.